Yo, what up, everybody?
I'm a
your
Brooklyn
boy,
nigga in the
Les
house.
Lou. Welcome,
I'm a
our
Brooklyn nigga
first
in the
female
house.
guest on the 2 to 1 show. To my left, Rachel, and on my far left this time, as far away as possible for me, check in, and welcome to episode 28 of the 2 to 1 show. I can't do it today.
Good job.
Thank you. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today?
Very well, thank you.
I'm hanging in there. I'm the one sweating bullets today.
You definitely are. I mean, you look like me on the L train. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I think it's the nervousness of having our first female guest.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready. Notice how
a lot of pressure.
the switch came on, right?
Yeah, let me take a sip of this water before we start.
So before we do get into this, we want Rachel explain what are you doing here? No, I'm just saying.
How did you get here? And how did you get in the
I
middle?
just kind of walked up the stairs.
Let the audience know what who you are, what you are, a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Intro. My name is Rachel. I know the two of you gentlemen. Should I say how I know you're?
If you want to, we don't have to get that deep, but it's okay.
No, I know Josh, family friend, and from there, just knowing him and knowing about the show and kind of wanting a female perspective and just kind of getting engaged in conversations was like, you should come on and like we'd love to have somebody come on and talk, challenge the guys. So I said, I'm up for it.
Oh no, not guys. The guy.
The guy.
But we put it in the middle for a reason. Because there's gonna be a double team attack.
It's okay. I think I can handle it.
All right. So let's. Why don't we, Rachel? Why don't you talk a little bit about what do you do?
Actually, I'm a therapist.
And the police are here to take you away because you did something illegal. So one of your patients probably snitched on you or something.
No, they're probably here to take somebody away.
Yeah, it might be the guy to our right. That's why you were late, sir?
Notice I haven't said that, right? I'm making sure they pass it by, bro.
I'm sorry, Rachel. So you're again?
Yeah, I'm a therapist. That's what I do for a job. I'm a psychotherapist. You know, that's anybody who's dealing with just life and things that are going on, and you need somebody to talk to and help you process it, and get another perspective. Anxiety, depression, relationship issues, you name it. That's kind of what I do.
Oh shit! I could have used some of your services on that L train.
I know.
How long have you been doing it?
I'm a newbie more, I would say, compared to some, but I've been doing it for at least four plus years.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. We could talk about
what made you get into that field? Just out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity, life. Things that I've gone through in my own life. That's really was what motivated me to do this because. Out of all my friends, like I'm the natural therapist of like my friends. Like my personality, I'm the analyzer. I'm the one that takes everything in. I'm always the one that can give two sides to a story, like two sides to a point of view. And just like things that I've gone through in my own life, like, my own childhood, like the own trauma that I've had as a kid and growing up and wanting to like give back and kind of like, there's always a piece of people who are in this kind of field that are healing themselves, so to speak. So
that's deep.
Yeah. So that's definitely part
of it. That's definitely deep.
Before we do move on, check in. Yesterday you had a special episode, man.
Well, it was an episode that actually never came out. I'm talking a little loud because I'm trying to see if we're recording. Yep, it looks like we're recording. All right, I don't even want to talk about it, but the gist of the episode that never came out was we started off by first giving a huge shout out to, I don't know if shout out's the correct word, but we were talking about the Nipsey Hussle situation and the fact that his untimely death, he was murdered by, I believe, a fellow gang member. Now that the news is coming out, it's saying that the gentleman actually was an informant or something like that. And Nipsey said, you being around here, I guess you can't be here, And the guy left and came back and shot him. And after he shot him, he did a bunch of other things.
It's so stupid because if you snitch, it's to avoid jail time, right? Now you just like you committed murder. Yeah, so much for that. So the way you
that really just kind of defeats the purpose of.
Exactly right. You should just not did your time.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what that's dominated. That's dominated the headlines.
Sounds like an impulsive decision.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It was real stupid, but the Nipsey situation. There's a lot of things that is going on. A lot of conspiracy theories going on. Not that long ago, I don't know if you guys heard, Nipsey was interviewed, and he said, if I get killed, it's because of this documentary that's coming up. He was doing a documentary about Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi.
Sebi's the guy that supposedly cured HIV and
cured HIV
and brought it to court, and they didn't find him guilty. He actually won against the
he's
government.
one of the few, very few people.
I heard that, but I didn't hear that detail.
Dr. Sebi, he's one of the very few people that beat the feds, pretty much.
And well, I was hearing about it today about
knowledge.
about something with Dr. Sebi too, because there was a conspiracy saying they killed him as well.
He had all these natural remedies, but he dies of pneumonia.
No. What happened was what his family said. This is from his family. They said when he was imprisoned, he refused to eat or drink because he didn't know what he was putting in his system. So because he didn't know what he was eating or drinking, he refused to eat, and eventually that ended up catching up to him, and his body changed, and he eventually did die from pneumonia. So even his family said that they don't think that it's a conspiracy, that they killed him. As for the Nipsey thing, people are saying that the government killed him. If it's about Dr. Sebi, then obviously it would probably be the pharmaceutical companies. Because if he has the cure for HIV or he's having all these cures for these diseases, who's going to lose out? Not really the government. The government's always going to get their piece. It will be the pharmaceutical companies. So,
Big pharma.
Yeah. We talked about this last week, Rich. You weren't here. We were talking about how everyone's death or, different things is always a conspiracy. And sometimes it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, the fact of the matter is this guy...
I mean, you could think about a conspiracy theory for almost anybody that's died. Tupac and Biggie, they're still alive.
That's a good
X,
thing.
Remember they said Drake
was
had
not that
killed
long
X
I
for a
mean,
while?
Elvis has been alive for how long?
Yeah, I know.
But yo,
It's sad though because he gave so much back to the community.
I was just gonna say that.
It's sad for the family. It's sad for the people that love him, that are in there. That's like conspiracy theory, like whatever.
You know what
people are
upsets me?
suffering.
What upsets me about this whole thing is that it seems to be like the woke people that are getting killed, like the intelligent people that are getting killed. In the mainstream. Nipsey, I didn't really know who he was. I didn't know his music.
I told you last year. What we doing about this album is one of the best albums of the year. I loved it.
And I always feel like a hypocrite when shit like this happens because now I'm rocking it and I'm like, damn, I should have gave this shit a chance, bro.
It happened to me with X. You told me you like X. I was like, who's this X kid?
Nah, but not even to a certain extent. To a certain extent, like I wasn't crazy about it, but like I'm not crazy about him now. But I could sing a lot of his music now. I probably know like one or two hits.
Yeah.
So it's a fucked up situation, bro. It's like it's crazy already.
And his girlfriend, who's pretty much his wife, I think they were together 5 years. They have a child together. He has another child for somebody else. I think she has another child. And she came out and she was like, she's torn, that she's heartbroken. Yeah. I mean, if I could find the exact words, give me a second, what she said, and it's just sad. And I would like to get your perspective on it if you were taking on a case like this. So she wrote, I'm completely lost. I lost my best friend, my sanctuary, my protector, my soul. I'm lost without you. We are lost without you, babe. I have no words. So if when you take on a patient like this that pretty much lost their husband, lost
grief.
Yeah. What would you say to someone like that? I know it's different from a case to case basis.
Yeah, I mean, grief is hard. Grief is probably one of the most difficult things that we experience as humans. So, it's really just kind of part of working with somebody and helping somebody through that is kind of respecting the pace with which they're like experiencing things, and not trying to push things for them, and kind of letting them know like what they're going through is valid. Like everything that they're feeling is valid.
Yeah, it's sad, Well, our condolences go out to
for sure
the family, and
I mean,
and the children.
You just took like. I could imagine that little girl, bro.
Yeah, it's sad. Like, we think about this show. I'm not to cut you off, Rach. We've been doing this show for it's gonna be a year soon, and I would say maybe 20-30% of our shows has been about death. We covered Mac Miller, we covered X, we're covering this, and then last week, our last show, we were covering 2 deaths in our family.
Yeah.
So like a really close friend of mine's. DJ Fatboy, which I'll never forget you. We're always gonna big you up forever. And then he lost, what's his name? JP Aguayo, right?
Yeah.
A cousin or something like that, or not actually your brother-in-law's.
My brother-in-law's nephew.
Yeah. So
but we're all the families, like we
Yeah.
became so close with all these like his family and our family. It's like we always out there like special events and everything. So, and it was tragic. Like the way he died, it just came out of like it was crazy.
That's terrible.
It's just sad, and, you know.
It is. People dying before their time, and you know, and
25.
the sad thing is, in some ways, like people get it's sensationalized, and like you know, when people die, like especially people in the in like the public eye, celebrities, you know.
And the horrible thing is, you know, we were talking about always saying that the people, they don't have emotions anymore. It's like
you blame the internet for that shit.
But did you see the one video that had where his legs are on the floor? They had a video of him on the floor, his legs, and they're recording it. He's dead, and they're like recording a dead body, and they're recording the cops trying to resuscitate him. What family wants to see that shit? You know.
You know the word I'm gonna use, man. Clout. Yeah. That's all it's for, bro. It's for clout.
What did you say? You say desensitized. I think that's the word you have used. That, you know, people
no, we've definitely been.
This makes you desensitized because it's a barrier from you know.
You know when I knew how much the internet has fucked me up as a child. You know when I was about 12 years old, that was when the Iraq War was happening, right? Okay. And there was a beheading video. That was probably like the first beheading video that went viral. And I watched it, and my mother came into the room, and she fucking flipped. How can you watch that? But to me, that was like, I done seen so many movies and everything. I done seen shit before. Like, it really didn't fuck with me. Like, she didn't understand that because I'm sure she didn't have the internet to desensitize her ass.
I mean, even with
she called the cops on me and everything that day. Like,
wow.
It was like it was this big thing. Like, it was crazy.
It's like,
so imagine this generation.
Yeah, I mean, they don't understand. Like, even with the X thing, they showed the guy with a bullet hole in his head hanging out the car, and it's being recorded everywhere. So, you know, any other thoughts for this topic with Nipsey Hussle?
I mean, for me, it's something that kind of bothers me when I see things like this. I mean, not particular to Nipsey, but I think sometimes I hear this a lot is like people bashing other people for their grief, like saying, oh, that they're not grieving. Like, look, like the comments that people put on like family members or girlfriends or whomever they're posting and like kind of saying like, you know, putting judgment out there on people and saying, oh, you didn't grieve this, or, you know, it's like, just because I don't post something on social media and blast out like everything that I'm feeling doesn't mean that I'm not going through something. And then you know, like that to me, that's something that bothers me. I'm always like, you know, like, how do you know? First of all, you're not in their life. You don't know what they're going through day to day. Just because they post something on social media, that doesn't mean anything. That's no merit.
You know, I don't know if this has so much to this, but it's like 50 Cent, right? So they wrote on his page, you know, did you know Nipsey? You're talking about this other stuff, you know Nipsey. And he like cursed the person out. I was like, you know, how about go fuck yourself? I know him. When I'm ready to say something, I will. It's like you know.
Yeah.
Deal with your own business. Don't worry
it's like,
about
yo, you don't say happy birthday to me?
Yeah, it's
on Facebook. You didn't mean nothing. Like, you didn't want me to have a good birthday, my nigga. Like,
you didn't like
saw a picture of my kids and you didn't like. Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Right.
It's retarded. I even read somewhere where people were saying, he's died. Why hasn't Lauren London said anything? And it's like,
can she just
deal with it first? Like, what the fuck? Plus, you know, even this is a celebrity, but even a common person, you got to deal with a wake. You got to deal with the funeral.
You're in shock when a person.
You got to have somebody that's kind of with you, right?
There's a level of shock, like, you know, stages of grief. There's a level of shock that you're in disbelief. You don't want to believe it. How many times do people die that we're disconnected from? We don't know. Celebrities die, and we're like, no, it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. You know,
like Tupac is still alive. You said it earlier. Elvis.
Yeah. I mean,
Elvis is a fat old man somewhere walking around, right?
Peanut butter banana sandwich.
Yeah, some people even said, right? Some people even said Houdini. Houdini said my greatest trick.
But I said episode 4. What I said about X. I was like, he's this generation's Tupac. Yeah. That's what they were saying. Oh, he's alive. He's alive.
That was somebody else. Or like I was saying, well, Houdini had said, my greatest trick is I'll come back from the dead. Yeah. So. And people say he's not dead, and on his birthday, I mean, he got to be 100-something years old now. His birthday, they go to his grave waiting for him to come back out.
I just feel like that's a little bit insensitive to people, to the families, like to even say that they're alive like that, because I highly doubt that they're feeling that. Like, yeah, they're not here every day for me to see them. Mm-hmm. Like, this person is gone from my life.
That's I haven't thought about it. It is really insensitive. But the thing is, like, if you're dead, or you want the world to believe you're dead, then you really are dead. Mm-hmm. So like, if I want to, it's like. Let's say I'm not physically dead, but I don't want to ever see my family again, so I fake my death when I go away. To the world, I'm dead. Why would you? I don't want to be around anymore. So, I don't know if that makes any sense, but...
You covered on Houdini, right? And all that, when you said something about Houdini, speaking about magic and magic tricks. Hopefully David Blaine could make this one disappear. Jackie, can you help me out with that a little more, man? You're the one that have brought that up.
Shots fired.
Even when I'm off, I'm on, baby.
So David Blaine has now been accused of rape from a charge stemming back to 1998.
God damn.
So it might have passed the statute of limitations. Like you said, if he's such a great illusionist, why he couldn't just dip in and dip out, gone, or make her magically forget about it?
His defensive court.
Hypnotizer.
But that's what they're saying. They're saying supposedly that he hypnotized these women and then or hypnotized. I don't know if it's more than one woman.
Well, hypnotize, I don't think can really stop trauma.
Yo, wait, no, that really happened. Did they say that he was hypnotized? They were hypnotized.
They said that was a possibility.
He hypnotized her?
They would say that he,
I don't know. I have to be honest. I don't know all the details of this
I don't
one,
know
so
either.
you
That's
gotta
why-
educate me.
They said I'm gonna find it out. David Blaine under investigation, so he faces two sex assault charges. The details of allegations have not been public. All right, so I probably just read some BS somewhere.
I was about to say, you imagine that? Yeah.
But you see how the story can get spun.
Oh my God.
Word.
Fake news by Jack.
Take off your clothes. That's really, I think that's messed up. I shouldn't mention
You're
it.
gonna be a slut.
Her first edit, you gotta edit that one out. But, all right, well, I don't
Too
even,
loose with the lips.
I don't know how we could just continue this to the next subject. So, with the rape charge, I'm not gonna say whether he did or he didn't do it, but 98 to that's 20 years. 98.
I think they've.
21 years?
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think they've gotten rid of the statute of limitations.
I know they
There are
increased
no
it.
statute
I
there
know
are
they
no
increased it
statute
for like when you're 20 to like it used to be from 22. Now you gotta be 27. I don't know. I might be talking different circumstances.
You're talking about age, but this is
No. I think you just need to look.
you mean the
look up
actual
what does
okay,
the
I see
statute of
what you mean. Yeah,
limitations say? I'm not up to.
Yeah, so it says.
Date on the actual
it says,
law.
however, at least one of the complaints may fall under statute of limitations. I think it's a 20-year law or something like that. I don't know. 98 would be 21 years, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know the exact logistics of it.
And I'm wondering if it's state to state too. Like I'm wondering.
Yeah, that would definitely be
Because I think California lifted it. There is no statute of limitations.
for sure. I know.
That's how they
I know
got
there's no statute
Cosby.
of limitation on murder for sure. I don't know about other charges. Like you can be charged for murder
I have no
50
clue.
years later. That I know for sure.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's like a federal law. So if all right, so I'm gonna bring up another rape charge, but another person has been accused.
Yo,
of
this
rape.
reminds me of. Okay, I was gonna say some stupid.
Please say it. Yes, please.
Go.
All right, so Kristaps Porzingis, former New York power forward, fuck him. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, fuck him anyway. He's been traded to the Dallas Mavericks, and it just came out that he is being accused of rape as well by a former neighbor that lived somewhere in his building, and she claims that he had raped her. He came to her house, and whatever, something happened. And then later on she said, if you don't want me to go public with this, it's fine, I don't want this to get dirty, just give me $68,000 for my brother's tuition and we can make it go away.
That's
Supposedly-
how David Blaine could have made that shit disappear just like that,
Oh, he could
bro.
have did with the cup like this. Yeah, 68,000.
Oh man, bro.
So later on he didn't pay her, so she came out and she's saying that he raped her, and not only did he rape her, I believe the post said that he called her a slave and a bitch. You're my sex slave and you're my bitch. And now the NBA Players Union has said that they fully are on Kristaps' side and they believe him 100%. They're saying that she probably tried to extort him. His new team, Mavericks, they have not released a comment. They're choosing to stay quiet at this time. Just to give you guys some back news, the Mavericks were under scrutiny for already misconduct. I believe they fired one of their presidents because they had an employee or whatever. So it would be in their best interest to not say anything. Now, I bring this up with both of these cases because when should, I don't know if this is the correct thing. If you don't report that you've been raped immediately, does it make it less believable? Or you have these two famous guys.
I think that was the misconception before. When people don't understand the effect of trauma and the effect of being assaulted, then you're gonna think it's likely for people to think that.
Yes, like someone that from looking on the outside looking in, would think, they're waiting for it to get big, and especially with the young lady, don't get me wrong. She could have said, you know what? I don't want it to get ugly. I don't want it to hit the court. You know, at least you can help my brother out or something like that. So yeah, I can see that happen. But isn't that still a form of extortion, right? Even if he did rape her, if you don't do this, I'm gonna.
That's also under the idea that that's how the dialogue went down.
Yeah, it may have not.
It could have been the other way around too. It could have been.
I'll help your brother out if you don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either way,
this will get ugly for us. You don't got the money for the lawyers that I got.
If she takes the money, is everything clean?
Well, I don't.
Because now I feel like.
I think that's bullshit. If you take the money, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. I feel
it
like
really doesn't.
I feel like if she took the money, then it's like, all right, you know what? We just.
Well, what
it's an agreement now.
This is not rape, but what happened with Stormy Daniels?
I might have just made that word up.
Right.
Now,
It sounded
Trump
good.
Trump.
Talking about Trump, Stormy Daniels. Didn't he pay Stormy Daniels to be quiet? And she wrote a tell-all book.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's being sued about it. And I think he gave her what, $500,000 or something like that. It was like.
I just think straight from the. I mean, no, of course, like you said.
I think that's again that old idea that that's what you can do to make something go away. And if you're a victim, maybe, and you're already feeling powerless and against a high-profile person that, then you're gonna think that's all this is all I can do. I can't do anything because there's so many times, like, even if you're not, so many times you don't feel that justice is on your side, that justice can do its part to defend you. So what's the point,
Wow. Yeah, I mean.
No, go ahead. Come on, continue. Play devil's advocate, jackass.
That's right. No, this is great stuff. No, this is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm always at I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So I'm gonna say with the obvious Joe that probably is not, in your profession that has your expertise. I'm thinking of it as, it's a money grab. So for it does bother me a little bit that it's such a specific number. Because somebody said, give me $10 million. Like with Kevin Hart when he was being extorted.
Yeah.
Two women,
that's what I was thinking of.
Give me like a huge number, an astronomical number. But for it to be so precise, I didn't think of it from what she said. Maybe he did offer that. He said, isn't your brother? But for him to know about, let's say he didn't know about the brother. How would he know about the brother unless they had some kind of relationship?
Whether they had a relationship or not is irrelevant.
Of course, because if he raped her, it doesn't matter if they were together or not.
Doesn't matter what, yeah.
So yeah, it does get very complicated. I don't know. So
it's hard because you have to be there. He said, she said in certain things. There's certain details like no one's going to know per se exactly, but
I think that's why the Knicks got rid of him now, because they didn't get shit back for him.
But supposedly
they had an insider or something.
The Knicks told the Mavericks that he was being extorted. So
before this came out?
Before the trade came out.
Okay.
But they didn't say he was being extorted
for what, right?
For a rape allegation. So does that make them supposedly? Like the world is like in the show today too with all these stories. It's crazy.
It's the real New York City, guys.
Yeah.
Reporting live from Times Square.
That is grittiness right now. I read also that the NBA would have intervened if this case would have came out prior to the trade, meaning they would have not allowed the trade to go through. They would have froze him and then until there's a further investigation.
Smart.
So I think it was in the best interest of both organizations if it didn't come out, because obviously the Dallas Mavericks wanted him and the Knicks wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah. So
it was probably at the interest of both parties to do that.
Listen, I think, like I said, I think that this is the way that this kind of world has been working for so long. Especially when you have money, you think like, I have power. It can get me things that nobody else can get.
Okay.
I can silence people. I can control people with money. Especially those who don't have it. So yeah, you can. It's. I don't think it's a money grab. It's a power grab. It's a power move.
Of course, but I mean, the three devils is money, power, and fame, and one usually comes with the other. Sometimes one comes with the three.
The three devils?
Yeah, I believe that's the three devils. Money, power.
You just made
fame.
that up like the word. Right?
I know, but it sounds.
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
No, I read that somewhere. I'm not taking credit for that.
That's the Holy Trinity.
You got it.
Unholy Trinity. So yeah, but like we digress a little bit. Like we're not here to say whether we believe Kristaps or believe the young lady. I'm not the judge nor the jury. Just give it a perspective from my point of view, and of course Rachel's giving her wonderful perspective as well. But like when you talk about the power grab, right? We've been talking about this for a while now with the R. Kelly thing, and we didn't talk about the Michael Jackson, the Finding Neverland. These people come out and like you said, from looking at it from your perspective, they're powerless. They're going against these entities that are humongous. They're going to easily have a backing. But let's say there's not someone that is humongous. Let's say it's the average Joe. How do you
justify then coming out later on saying it?
Yeah. So I'm saying, so if I'm Joe Blow from the neighborhood and you don't say anything for 10 years, then you come out and you say something. Now, is it still a power move?
Well, no. And what I mean by that is that the power move is on the perspective of like the NBA and everybody in that regard. But with some just regular people, quote unquote, like there's so much that happens within you when you've been like abused, when you've there's just so much shame, there's so much that you put upon yourself, there's so much shame and blame that you put upon yourself when you've been in that kind of situation, just on yourself alone. I mean, like, we're our own worst enemies within ourselves, right?
Okay. Because we control our emotions.
So with that being said, like, why did this happen? You're already questioning things within yourself, right? And then it's a complete removal of your power. You feel completely powerless in those kind of situations, whether if something happened to you when you were a kid or something happened to you in some kind of social situation. It's a complete removal of your power. You're completely felt powerless, and in order to I think most often people who've gone through those things, they're not in a place where they can say something right away. I think the majority of people who've had something that experience hold it in, and it's a shameful secret that I can't tell anybody, and also just like being traumatized, like you're kind of paralyzed by it, you really are paralyzed by it, and you can't say anything, and you have to really work through that. You got to really heal yourself and like reprocess everything within your mind and how it happened in order to be able to say something. So yeah, it does take time. It takes years. That's why like people come to therapy in their 40s and almost 50 years old, and they're like finally saying something that happened to them when they were like 8 years old.
Shit, wow.
I mean, that happens a lot with male rape victims.
Especially, I would say even more so with male. So really,
because you gotta have that machismo thing.
Of course, and there's like, I mean, even and when you're younger and that stuff happens, I mean, not just younger, but I think
someone taking advantage.
As your brain is developing.
Well, there's that too, but also your body doesn't know the difference, and that's why the shame game kind of goes, happens, because your body's gonna respond to what it responds to. Like it's not gonna know. Like if you're hit the mic. If you're, I talk with my hands. If if you're 7-year-old and somebody touches your 7-year-old penis, like it's gonna feel good no matter what. Like it's not gonna know. Hey, I don't know.
Oprah said that about a week ago,
yes,
and then she caught the ill fucking heat for that.
But that's the truth. It really is like that. Your body's just gonna respond to stimulation.
But and you don't really know.
You don't know the language, and there's so much more to it that, like, I mean, this is like sexual abuse, like in a different kind of tangent of this, but like there's so much more to it. Like there's so much more to it. You don't know you're being abused. Maybe you're feeling uncomfortable. But and even when you're younger like that, you don't have the language to understand what's happening to you. You don't even really know about sex. Yep. Like this is the first time you're being sexualized. So, it is. It's it helps understand like the perspective of like what a person has to go through and why. Yeah, it takes years. It takes years to admit that for some people. It's a really hard thing. I think, trauma is difficult.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. Do you have it? All right. Let's lighten up the subject a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna throw a little curveball here. So on our IG page, of course, at 2to1_show. I don't know where I'm gonna put it when I edit it. It'll be somewhere around here or somewhere. But at 2to1_show. Have you guys ever got someone else's mail?
Yes.
How was that like? Because my experience is one of a kind.
You're ready for this
I don't know that I have any like real interesting story about getting someone else's mail.
Wow, let me tell you something.
Well, we got one in store for you.
All right, so I ordered a hard drive for the video editing, right? So let me tell it.
He's already cracking up.
Actually, I'm gonna pause this right now and you'll see the footage coming up here. Yo, this is the funniest shit I ever had in the beginning of my life. I go to the post office to pick up my package. When I go there, they give me this package. Now, this definitely ain't mine. The funniest shit. So I as you guys can see, so I ordered a hard drive. Mm-hmm. I get a letter.
I hope it's not me, the female presence.
No, it has nothing to do with it. It's a funny story. I ordered the hard drive, and I got a slip that it didn't come. Mm-hmm. So I go to the post office on Monday, which is April Fool's Day, and I pick up the package. When I get to the post office, they said, all right, I have your name. I'm not going to say my name, but I have your name, but it doesn't have your apartment number. Mm-hmm. But it's the same building, same name. Okay? So I was like, all right, that's probably mine. Let me get that. So I take it anyway. I sign for it. So I get home, right? And I got Zoe. If you guys know, Zoe's my lady. She's behind me, and she's like, I don't know, cooking or doing something. I don't know what the hell she's doing. So when I open the package, I take it out, and it's a sex toy. It's like a strap-on. A full-blown strap-on. And I'm like, what the before I got a chance to say, what the fuck is this? This girl's like, what the fuck is it?
got some,
I knew it, Josh! I knew it! I know you always wanted it!
You got some explaining to do.
She's like, what the fuck? What is that? And I was like, I don't know. She goes, it has your name on it. Did you order? I said, I didn't fucking order this. Why would I order this? And she's like, questioning me. And in my head, I'm thinking, I've been with you almost 10 years.
What the fuck you doing with a strap on?
Right? So we go back. I go in, and then I find some fluffy, like furry handcuffs. So I'm like, all right. And then inside is
quite an assortment.
Yeah, then it's like inside is like a brochure to this place that you can like to go. I guess like an underground.
Oh yeah, like sex clubs and stuff.
So I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh wait, what happened? I missed that one. Which was I didn't hear that one.
So there was a brochure inside too, like to go to. I guess like a place. You bring the brochure and.
Oh, all right. Where?
I was like, I don't fucking know. I looked at it. I was like, so by this time Zoe's like, listen,
let's go.
What happened? And I'm thinking, yo, it's April Fool's. So the first one I call this asshole. Yo, look what they got FaceTime. Go. He starts dying. Whatever. What you don't know is he said, how much? You want to keep a nasty bastard? Anyway.
I was in the mood for it.
So I start calling all my buddies. And then, of course, everybody the same thing. What? FaceTime. So I showed up and everybody's rolling. So obviously it wasn't an April Fool's joke. So I did what was the next logical thing. So I said, all right, I got to go downstairs. So I go downstairs. And I knock on the door. This lady opens the door, and she like opens it like halfway. So like peeks her head out. I'm like, "How you doing? I'm your neighbor. Is there a person by the name of Joshua that lives there?" And she like bursts the door open. She's like, "You're Joshua." I said, "Yeah, my name is Joshua, but I'm looking for Joshua." She's like,
she already knew.
"You have a package, right?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh yeah, he has a package too. I think you guys mixed up." So I'm like, at her face, I'm like, "Fuck." I made a video and I put it. Obviously, we seen it just now.
I'd have came downstairs in the cuffs and the strap on like this.
The sweater. Yours.
I'm Joshua, baby.
So I go. So Zoe stays home or whatever, and she calls me. She's like, "Listen, somebody knocking on the door." So she opens the door and it's like this guy with purple hair or whatever. So I of course I thought like an adult as well. My same name, same building. Maybe identity fraud. Maybe this guy.
Double check that.
You know, maybe he's ordering stuff downstairs under my name. So he's leaving, and I'm like,
so Joshua's her man?
How about you don't use my name, sir? But you can say Joshua no time. I don't know who he is, but he had my same exact first and last name. But it gets worse. He had my middle initial as well. So my name is very common.
She didn't tell you who that.
No,
she didn't tell you who Joshua is though.
Nah, she just said my
friend. Apparently he's into some kind of pegging or something.
He's into some shit.
Pig furry handcuffs.
So Zoe chases him down. She's like, "Listen, you know,
Joshua, I got your strap on."
So Zoe chases him down, checks his ID. The fucking guy has my same exact name.
So what if that story is the most shocking for you? Same name or what was
I think it's the same name because
the fact that both Joshua's minds are in sync. That's what it is.
Fuck you. What the hell I was gonna do with that? You know, it's funny.
I don't think it was for you. For you.
No, it was no, but actually, it was like, I mean, it was a strap-on, and it was like a little hot dog. I don't even know if I should say this.
Hot dog.
Like maybe for a newcomer, you know, because it wasn't like this massive thing. It was like something small. And a guy's not gonna do that to a girl. It's gonna be a girl to a girl or
No,
to a
you
guy.
don't know.
Guy.
Or girl to a guy. Why would a guy have a strap on to give it to another guy if you have your own thing to use? Unless you're trying to be super clean and whatever. You don't want to.
No, I don't.
It would be a girl to a girl.
Double
or a girl to a
penetration.
guy, right?
I don't fucking know.
I mean, right? It would be a girl to a girl to a guy. Does that make sense, right?
Yes,
It's not gonna be a
yes.
guy to a guy because you can use what you have, right? So
Or maybe his shit don't work.
if his shit don't work, the size of the toy was not really big. I don't think it's gonna satisfy any woman. It looks like it was made for anal. It's probably for somebody that's just starting. And the reason I'm saying this, it's funny because I'm at work and I was telling somebody the story, and he's an older guy. Oh man, and he's like, he must just be starting. And I looked at him like,
How you know that?
well, and then he says,
You
"Oh, no,
got-
I'm just saying, you know." Like I looked at him like,
You graduate.
well, what the fuck are you like?
I remember my first strap on.
Are you fucking insane? Like, I don't know, but just from now on, my advice to people is if you get mail and you're in the post office, if it's the wrong apartment number, you probably should open it at the post office and then see what's up. And I didn't know if this guy was gonna actually.
Well, I think the federal law says don't open any mail that doesn't belong to you, even if so the address, might be an indicator that people out there have the same first, last, middle name.
But is it my fault if they give it to me? I went there.
It is your fault for checking the contents of the package.
Checking it before opening it, double checking it, check your mail.
The guy told me. No. He told me that the guy in the post office told me, it's your name, it's your address. It doesn't have you. It's not the same apartment number. Do you feel comfortable taking it? So I was like, I don't think there's anybody else in my building. I'll take it. So that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Like,
You were there when the package came?
No, I went to the post office.
Well,
to
then
pick it up.
maybe
But the thing
then
is that-
knock on the door and ask.
What if Zoe would
By
have got the
chance.
package?
Oh my god, I would have been screwed, bro. I thought she picked it up. She would've been like,
Literally
what the fuck?
and figuratively.
Strap on, my nigga!
Zoe don't play.
I can't even talk.
Yo, that should have been hilarious,
So
son.
like, I called Amazon, right? Because I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think he was gonna show and give me my package back. Because the way her face was, like she was so embarrassed. I was like, this guy's not showing.
Bro, I don't think she expected somebody to
It's gonna
see
show.
that.
So I was like, fuck that. I paid $100-some for this hard drive on my fucking hard drive. So I called Amazon. I tell them what happened. Amazon was like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's out of our hands. And Amazon's usually really reliable. They'll take care of it. Like, you gotta go to the post office. You gotta report it. And then they have to reimburse you. So I was getting really pissed. I was like, I was thinking in my head, I'm gonna have to go knock on this door because I'm about to chase this guy down. I don't give a fuck about this strap on. I don't want my fucking hard drive. But
That's not the hard drive I was looking for.
Listen, I want my hard drive. You want your hard on. Either way.
Here we go, man.
You know what I mean? Get the fuck out.
I want stay on the subject of
Hard-ons? Fucking jerk.
hard-ons. Apparently, we're gonna go off topic right now. I want to go back to one question that we did last week, Cardi B,
Oh, yes.
because we definitely.
Actually,
I want to see this.
Me and Rachel had a very brief conversation.
That's cheating.
Not today. The other day, just about how the pendulum swing. So this will
No,
probably lead into
so elaborate. Let's hear.
So Cardi B, we talked about it on the last show. We hate to repeat the same topic, but of course we don't know when we're gonna have another female voice here. Hopefully you'll come back.
Sure.
Cardi B admitted to drugging a man or drugging men who wanted to sleep with her, and then, and I quote, robbing them for their money. And that's how she was surviving.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the only thing she was doing, but she actually admitted to doing that. Now, I was pretty upset about it because I felt it was a double standard where if a man admits that, a man actually, what's a harsher crime, robbery or sexual assault? I believe sexual assault is, but still robbery is robbery. If a man were to do that,
I'd rather get robbed.
no, I
You
don't
admit to it. You're saying admit to it.
Admittance of a crime, right,
Oh, okay.
should lead to some kind of punishment.
Consequence.
Now, consequence. That's the word. Better word. Rick Ross.
Yes.
A couple years
I knew
back.
you were gonna go here.
He
lost his Reebok deal?
He lost his
Right?
Reebok deal
Reeboks?
because he said slip a Molly in a girl's drink. Oh, I don't know the exact words in a song, and he lost his Reebok deal. Now Rick Ross came out and said that he supports Cardi, and that no one actually knows what life she was living, and you know she had to survive.
I see a lot of people tagging me with this Cardi B shit, right? But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna explain something to you. Leave Cardi B alone, and the reason I tell you that is, in a lot of circumstances, that's what come with that lifestyle. She never hid that. We all know that. Fortunately, I'm from Miami, and I understand that. My circumstances and my incidents, well, I did lose a 7-figure deal with Reebok, and I took that to the chin, and I have no love lost for Reebok. You understand? Because I needed to understand I was a king. You understand? And they right. I didn't need to promote that. The parties I attended at the time, where I'm from, that was the lifestyle. You dig? And when you look at the reaction when we performed that record, that was the most popular line to a lot of motherfuckers, and that's who I wrote that for. I wrote that for motherfuckers who live that lifestyle. And they, so
my stand was she needs to have some kind of consequences. Something has to be taken away from her. He lost his Reebok deal. Maybe she loses her Pepsi deal. Now, I'm just saying it just so that it's even across the board. I actually don't want her to lose anything because I don't want to sound like a hater. You know, she earned it, whatever. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to take something away from a male counterpart who's actually in her same field, right? Because they both rap, then she should have some kind of consequence. What did you take on that?
Oh, there's a lot of thoughts here. Well, you know, when I heard this, I also realized that she's saying this in defense of herself because people are saying that she doesn't even deserve her fame. So, you know, I was taking that into perspective, hearing that, and then saying like, okay, I get where she's saying, but I mean, how is this? You know, I guess maybe you can say it's apples and oranges. It's not the same thing, but you know, is it any different from anyone else talking about the things that they've had to do to survive on the streets or survive, you know?
No, I don't know. No, I'm pissed. I want to suffer. No.
Well, I'm just saying, like, from that perspective, from that angle of it, because that was the original piece of why this statement was even said, and I think that that's an important thing to say. Where you know he's saying it in a, you know, Rick Ross is saying it in a song, he's glamorizing it. He's like, you know, people are gonna sing along to it, and it takes away from it. She's saying it as a defense of saying, like, look, I had to do a lot of like crazy things to survive in my life. I'm not saying that they were.
You sound like you're defending Cardi B.
Yeah,
You're not surviving her. You're defending her.
You're surviving her, yes.
And I'm also saying that I don't know what her repercussions will be if they are going to be. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in her life and what people won't say because of it.
It's already done. No one's even talking about it again.
It's still going. I was hearing some buzz about it.
It happened last week, and it's like not. You know, it's
Cardi B's record.
Well, because David Blaine, and then you got all these other people coming.
Her music, I think her music went up. Her streams went up after that and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, so publicity.
People love Cardi B.
Who was it? Oscar Wilde said, you know, publicity, good or bad, is always great. It's always in your favor. It's sad. You know.
Well, I also said to you too, you know, not to interrupt you, but I also said that this was, you know, for the first time now you understand that double standard. Like, we've been dealing with a double standard for our whole lives.
Yeah, she bodied me the other day. I was like, you know, I'm not that old to actually see what women went through. And by the time
no, you don't have to say like you had to be around before like women could vote, but you know, but definitely like even just early 2000s, I mean, even just a couple years ago, 10 years ago, definitely 100% like people. You know, a girl sleeps around. A girl wants to, you know, she's a hoe. She's this. You know, you want to slut shame.
You dress with a mini skirt.
I mean, that's exactly. Yeah. And the idea that if you do that or you do that and something bad happens to you, well, you deserved it. Look how you dress. Look how you act. Look how you talk. Like, so your whole character, you're demoralized. Like all that stuff is not even.
But how is that different from people saying that guys that wear hoodies or dress urban? They're criminals. I'm
not saying that it's any different. I don't think you should just take that into like the way a person dresses and judge them on their character. But
so if you see your honesty, if you're walking in the street and it's 9 o'clock at night and it's dark outside and somebody's having them walking behind you in a
I'm gonna feel that way because I'm a woman.
Oh, you're gonna cross the
I'm
street.
gonna feel that way because I'm a woman. That's
Well,
something that you have to deal with, as I think like women deal with that. That's something I don't think men understand. I honest to be realistic. I don't think that men have that fear. Like
But wait,
women.
I have that fear. I live in a shitty neighborhood. I see you with a hoodie. I'm crossing the street, and I'm not really scared of much. But yeah,
But
to avoid it.
especially more because we are women, we have it doubly. You know,
Yeah, all right.
whether it's a good neighborhood or a bad neighborhood, we still feel that.
That's true though. Yeah, think about it.
Because you
What do
wear
you?
dresses, that's true. Because you wear.
There's always in a situation.
Every
where you
time I
have-
wear a dress, I
there's
feel like I'm
always-
gonna get
a woman
fucked.
always has to think in a way that's like, could I be in a situation like this? Like more in a protective way, I think, than a man, has to.
So when again, I'm speaking of sheer ignorance. So when a woman dresses provocatively, does she think that? Like, am I going to be safe? Or does that thought come through your head? Like, if
A woman is dressing like that because she wants to dress like that. What I'm saying is that, she doesn't deserve, like, say if something bad happens to her, it's deserved upon her because of the way she dresses.
Gotcha.
It's like
Do you-
saying, so then the argument for you with the hoodie
So,
is
yes,
if
was
you
just
wore a
get
hoodie,
shot in my chest or
well,
get
you wore that
arrested.
hoodie.
Yeah.
Why are you dressing like,
You're agreeing a lot today, Jack. I like it. You're agreeing
I
a lot.
told you.
I'm just staying. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for. I haven't said shit.
I'm
know
trying.
you're
I'm
quiet.
trying.
Right?
Just put it in my way.
I mean, no, that's other reasons why I'm quiet, but
We
this
were
is
gonna
the main one.
This is why she's sitting in the middle, okay? So you can be in the back of your arm.
Yes.
Loving it.
Great
But
stuff.
hold on,
great
let me
stuff.
make sure. She's all right. Cool. You're defending Cardi. I was make sure I'm good.
Well, I mean, I'm just,
make sure we good,
Let's do the
bro.
I think, I am a little bit. I'll be honest. I'll say there's probably a little bias there. That definitely, I'm a little bit quick to like come to the defense of a woman because of that. To say like, oh, if I said it, I'm a man. If I say it, then I would. Well, first of all, you don't know that would happen to you for certain. If you said that, you'd be on fire.
Well, I'm about to, which one of us is going to say she drugged us? Because I'm ready to get some money. Oh, my God. No, not ready. I'm talking about Cardi. I'm ready to get some money. What was the strip club she worked at?
Yo.
1 year?
I'm trying to think, bro.
Sounds like extortion.
I
Smells like
Yo, Cardi,
extortion.
listen, I remember when Cardi, before Cardi was Cardi, she was charging people $50 to get inside the strip club. To that she was featured
But
in.
why? Her body doesn't even look.
I don't know.
It's not proportionate to her.
My shit is she been robbing people forever with the $50.
Well, most strippers,
So you didn't have to. She didn't even have to do
They
it.
don't go into the strip game to be nice. They go to the strip game to get money.
They're hustles.
Yeah, they're hustling their body. And I think if you ask a stripper, I think most of them don't want to be strippers. Now, I'm not saying all of them. Some of them like the exhibitionist side of it, and they like to dance. A lot of them, there's a lot of them.
That's why I
There's a lot of them don't even. There's a lot of strip clubs that are not like just bikini, and it's really more of a dancing thing.
Yeah.
So like
Exotic dancing,
Yeah,
I
so
pole
would never
dancing.
So
waste my money in somewhere.
well, I've had before, but I won't ever again. I just not. It's not.
I would never
It was a
walk-
fad that I went through. That it was like, yeah.
I was gonna say, you do speak like you knew a lot of
Yeah,
strippers.
yeah. It was a fad like I went through, and then it was like, yeah.
The only time I go to strip club is when I get my income tax. It's the only time of the year. That's the only time of the year I'm there. Y'all bitches won't ever see me there again after that. I'll be broke the next day.
That makes a lot of sense. What is it? February through April, they're probably booming over there.
Of course, yo,
Tax
trust me. I know there was a
season.
lot. I don't do it no more, but I'm sure there was a lot of stupid.
Didn't you have a story?
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
nah, I don't.
All right.
Did I get that story already?
I don't know. But,
Was that? I didn't put it on camera, right?
No, I don't think so. We can talk about it. We can
Nah,
we
we
can talk
can't,
to
we
Rachel off the camera. And
No,
tell
we
us
can't. We
a
can't.
hilarious story about what she did in the strip club.
I have to edit this
I'd
out.
like to hear
If
that.
it's the story that I'm talking about,
Yeah,
we definitely cannot play that story, bro.
All right. Well, in closing,
Just tease the viewers.
in closing, Rachel, do you want to plug anything or?
What do I want to plug? So the clinic, I guess you would say, the practice.
If you want to.
My chat therapist in Ridgewood, New York. Trying to think, what else do I've never plugged before. This is my first plugging experience.
Well, if you want. If not, it's all right. And how did you like the 2-to-1 experience?
I enjoyed it. How did you guys like my my presence here.
I loved it.
I liked you to defend the Cardi.
Right, we liked it too. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm fucking with you.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be your first
Oh, man,
female
it's a
guest.
pleasure.
Hopefully you come back soon. But on that note, you want to hit it? Oh, you just want to just rock. Again, book it anyhow. G7 patch. This is his song.
No, you got it. I'm trying to. It's a new intro and an outro. I'm trying to see where it is that we go in at. We haven't even spoken about this or nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 28. Thank you for watching. I'm your boy Bestalu. To my left is Rachel. To my other left is Jack and Z. This is the new outro. Make sure you check it out. What is it?
2-1_ show.
No, your man's. Oh, man,
G7 patch. And Brooklyn anyhow. Again, catch us at IG 2-1_ show and YouTube.
And we're gonna practice the outro.
All right.
Thank you.
I done went to war with my dogs, running from the law and tell my mama how I got.